Stop for a moment and listen carefully. Before you move on to the next thing, before you allow the noise of this day to pull your attention in 100 different directions, I want you to hear me. I know there have been moments when you wondered if anyone truly understood what you have been carrying. There have been nights when your smile disappeared the moment you were alone. There have been days when you completed every responsibility in front of you while silently fighting battles that no one else could see. But I want you to know something today. I have seen every step. I have seen every tear. I have seen every prayer, and I have not forgotten you. The world may overlook details, but I do not. The people around you may miss what is happening inside your heart, but I do not. Even when you struggled to find the words to speak, I understood the language of your soul. You have asked questions that you never spoke out loud. You have wondered why certain doors closed. You have wondered why some answers seemed delayed. You have wondered why the path became difficult when you were trying so hard to do the right thing. I know the weight of those questions. And I know the weariness that comes from carrying them for a long time. But listen carefully. A delay is not a denial. A closed door is not abandonment. A season of waiting is not proof that I have walked away. There are things happening beyond what your eyes can currently see. There are pieces being arranged, lessons being formed, strengths being developed, and paths being prepared. What feels slow to you is often preparation. What feels confusing to you is often protection. What feels like silence to you is often my steady work beneath the surface. Think about a seed buried beneath the ground. From the outside, it appears as though nothing is happening. Days pass, weeks pass, sometimes even longer. Yet hidden from sight, life is forming. Roots are stretching. Strength is developing. Preparation is taking place. And then one day, what was invisible becomes impossible to ignore. That is how many things in your life are unfolding right now. Do not measure your future by your current circumstances. Do not decide what is possible based on what you see today. I am greater than what stands in front of you. I am greater than every obstacle. I am greater than every limitation. I am greater than every fear, trying to convince you that nothing will ever change. The story is not over. The chapter you are living now is not the final chapter. There is more ahead. There is healing ahead. There is wisdom ahead. There is growth ahead. There are blessings ahead that you cannot fully imagine yet. And while you wait, I want you to learn something important. Do not allow your peace to depend on perfect circumstances. Allow your peace to come from knowing that I am with you. Because circumstances change. People change. Opportunities come and go, but my presence remains. I am with you when the day feels bright. I am with you when the day feels heavy. I am with you in victory. I am with you in uncertainty. I am with you when you understand the path. I am with you when you cannot see beyond the next step. You are not walking alone. You never were. There were moments when you thought your strength was running out, yet somehow you continued. There were moments when you thought you could not take another step, yet somehow you moved forward. There were moments when you believed you would break under the pressure, yet somehow you remained standing. That was not an accident. I was sustaining you. I was giving you strength that you did not realize you possessed. I was carrying you through moments that seemed impossible, and I am still doing it now. So today, release the burden of trying to control everything. Release the pressure of needing every answer immediately. Release the fear that tells you something is wrong simply because everything has not happened yet. Trust me with the process. Trust me with the timing. Trust me with the parts you cannot understand. There is a reason you are hearing these words today. Your heart needs this reminder. You are seen. You are valued. You are loved. You are not forgotten. If this message is speaking directly to your heart, take a moment and type "yes" in the comments as your declaration that you are choosing faith over fear today. And stay with this message until the very end of this journey, because the words ahead are designed to help you apply these truths to your everyday life, strengthen your faith, and walk through every season with greater confidence and peace. As you continue forward, remember this: I am not finished writing your story. What feels uncertain today can become a testimony tomorrow. If these words brought encouragement to your heart, consider helping this message reach someone else who needs it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend or family member who may be searching for hope. And if you feel happy and blessed by these words, you may also support this ministry through the link provided below, so that more people can receive messages of faith, encouragement, and hope. I am with you. I am guiding you, and I have not forgotten you. Listen closely. There is something I want to speak directly into your heart today. Many of you have been carrying burdens that were never meant to belong to you. You have carried tomorrow's worries before tomorrow arrived. You have carried the opinions of people who do not understand your journey. You have carried guilt from seasons that I already forgave. You have carried fear as though it were your responsibility to hold everything together. But I am asking you right now to release what was never yours to carry. Take a deep breath. Slow down for a moment. The world keeps telling you to hurry. It tells you that everything depends on you. It tells you that if you stop moving, everything will fall apart. But that is not the truth. The truth is that I remain God even when you rest. I remain faithful even when you feel weak. I remain in control even when circumstances seem uncertain. You have spent so much time trying to solve every problem before it happens that you have forgotten how to live in the present moment. You have worried about conversations that have not happened. You have feared outcomes that have not arrived. You have imagined failures that do not exist. And while your mind was racing ahead, your heart became tired. I never intended for you to live that way. I created you to walk one step at a time, one day at a time, one challenge at a time, not 10 years at a time, not every possible future at once. Today has enough responsibilities of its own. Let me hold tomorrow. I already stand in your future. Nothing surprises me. Nothing catches me unprepared. Nothing arrives without my knowledge. The situation you fear is already known to me. The decision you are struggling with is already known to me. The challenge ahead is already known to me. And because I know it, you do not need to fear it. There have been moments when anxiety convinced you that constant worrying was helping you. But worry has never created a solution. Fear has never opened a door. Anxiety has never added peace to your life. Instead, it has stolen moments that were meant to be lived. I want something better for you. I want you to learn the power of trust. Trust does not mean pretending difficulties do not exist. Trust means believing that I am greater than those difficulties. Trust means moving forward even when every answer has not arrived. Trust means remembering my faithfulness when circumstances try to make you forget. Look back for a moment. Think about everything you have already survived. Think about every difficult season you thought would destroy you. Think about every obstacle that seemed impossible. Think about every night when you believed you would never recover. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still moving forward. That is not luck. That is not coincidence. That is evidence of my hand upon your life. I carried you through every one of those seasons, and I will carry you through this one as well. Some of you are exhausted because you keep replaying the past. You revisit old mistakes. You replay old conversations. You relive painful memories. You reopen wounds that I have been trying to heal. Listen carefully. The past can teach you, but it should not imprison you. There are lessons behind you, but your future is not behind you. Your future is ahead. Do not spend so much time looking backward that you miss what I am placing before you. The enemy of your peace often tries to convince you that your mistakes are your identity, but they are not. Your failures are not your identity. Your disappointments are not your identity. Your worst moments are not your identity. I know every chapter of your story. I know every victory. I know every struggle. And still, I call you loved. Still, I call you chosen. Still, I call you mine. That has never changed, and it never will. There are blessings that cannot enter your life while your hands are full of fear. There are opportunities that cannot be embraced while your focus remains trapped in regret. There are new beginnings waiting for you, but first, you must release what is trying to keep you anchored in yesterday. I am not asking you to ignore reality. I am asking you to trust me within it. I am asking you to believe that I am working even when progress seems invisible. I am asking you to remember that my timing is not your enemy. My timing is part of my care for you. Some doors open immediately, others require preparation. Some blessings arrive quickly, others arrive after growth. And often, the blessing that takes longer to arrive becomes the one that changes your life the most. So be patient with the process. Be patient with yourself. You are growing more than you realize. You are learning more than you realize. You are becoming stronger than you realize. The difficult season you are walking through today is not permanent. The pressure will not last forever. The uncertainty will not last forever. The waiting will not last forever. Seasons change, and this season will change too. When that moment comes, you will look back and understand things that seem confusing right now. You will see connections that are currently hidden. You will recognize protection where you once saw delay. You will recognize guidance where you once saw silence. You will recognize my hand where you once saw uncertainty. For now, keep walking, keep trusting, keep believing, keep showing up one day at a time. And if these words resonate with your spirit today, write, "I trust your timing," in the comments as a declaration of faith. Stay until the end of this journey, because each message is designed to help you strengthen your faith, overcome fear, and apply these truths in practical ways that can transform your daily life. You do not have to carry everything. You do not have to know everything. You do not have to control everything. You only need to keep walking with me, and I will guide the rest. Come closer and listen carefully. There is a part of your story that very few people know. There is a part of your heart that you rarely allow anyone to see. You have learned how to smile while carrying pain. You have learned how to continue working while feeling exhausted inside. You have learned how to tell others that everything is fine, when deep within yourself you are fighting battles that words cannot fully explain. But I know those hidden places. I know the wounds you never discussed. I know the disappointments you tried to forget. I know the moments that changed you. I know the conversations that still echo in your mind. I know the rejection that made you question your worth. I know the betrayal that made trusting others more difficult. I know the loss that left an empty space in your heart. Nothing about your pain has been hidden from me. Not one tear. Not one sleepless night. Not one silent prayer. Not one moment of loneliness. I have been present through all of it. There were times when you thought nobody understood. There were times when you wondered if anyone cared. There were times when you felt invisible, but you were never invisible to me. Even when others overlooked you, I saw you. Even when others misunderstood you, I understood you. Even when others walked away, I remained. And today I want you to hear something that your heart desperately needs to remember. What happened to you is not who you are. The wounds are real. The pain was real. The disappointment was real. But those experiences do not define your identity. You are not the rejection. You are not the failure. You are not the mistake. You are not the betrayal. You are not the disappointment. You are much more than the painful moments that tried to shape your life. Too often you have measured yourself through the lens of what went wrong. You have allowed difficult experiences to become the standard by which you evaluate your value. But I never intended for you to see yourself that way. I created you with purpose. I created you with value. I created you with significance. Your worth was established long before anyone had the opportunity to hurt you. It was established before you faced your first disappointment, before your first failure, before your first heartbreak, before your first struggle. Your value comes from me. And because it comes from me, no human being can take it away. No criticism can remove it. No rejection can cancel it. No failure can erase it. No painful season can destroy it. You are valuable because I created you. You are loved because I chose to love you. You are important because your life carries purpose. The world often teaches people to hide their wounds, to pretend they are unaffected, to appear strong at all times. But healing begins when you stop pretending that everything is fine. Healing begins when you allow me access to the places that still hurt. Healing begins when you trust me enough to be honest. Some of you have spent years protecting old wounds. You built walls around them. You avoided certain conversations. You avoided certain memories. You avoided certain risks, not because you were weak, but because you were afraid of being hurt again. I understand that fear. I understand why you became cautious. I understand why you became guarded. But listen carefully. The walls that protect you can also imprison you. The barriers that prevent pain can also prevent growth. The fear that protects your heart can also keep you from experiencing the blessings I have prepared for you. That is why I am gently working in your life, not to expose your weakness, but to restore your strength, not to shame you for your wounds, but to heal them, not to remind you of your pain, but to lead you beyond it. Healing is often slower than you expected. Sometimes you wanted immediate answers, immediate relief, immediate restoration. But healing is not always instant. Sometimes it happens one layer at a time, one day at a time, one prayer at a time, one lesson at a time, one step at a time. And while it may feel slow, never mistake slow progress for no progress. I am working even when you cannot see the results. I am restoring even when the process feels invisible. I am strengthening even when you still feel fragile. Many people only notice miracles when they happen suddenly, but some of my greatest works happen quietly. A stronger mindset, a calmer heart, a healthier perspective, a renewed sense of hope, a deeper faith, a restored confidence. These are miracles too. Do not underestimate the power of small changes. Small changes become transformed lives. Small acts of faith become powerful testimonies. Small moments of trust become lifelong strength. That is what I am building within you. Not temporary relief, lasting transformation. Not surface-level comfort, deep restoration. Not borrowed strength, true strength. And while I am healing your heart, I am also preparing your future. The pain you survived is teaching you compassion. The battles you endured are building wisdom. The challenges you overcame are developing character. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing. Even the difficult seasons are being woven into something meaningful. One day you will encourage someone else using lessons you learned during this season. One day your story will become proof that restoration is possible. One day your healing will inspire someone else's healing. One day your faith will strengthen another person's faith. What feels painful today can become powerful tomorrow. That is why I need you to keep going. Do not quit. Do not surrender to hopelessness. Do not believe the lie that nothing will ever improve. You have come too far to stop now. You have survived too much to give up now. You have overcome too much to lose hope now. The best chapters of your story are not behind you. They are still ahead. If this message speaks directly to your heart today, write "Heal my heart" in the comments as a declaration that you are inviting me to continue the work of restoration within you. And stay with these messages until the end, because each one contains lessons that can help you walk in greater peace, stronger faith, deeper healing, and a clearer understanding of your purpose. I am healing what others cannot see. I am restoring what others thought was lost. I am strengthening what felt weak. And I am not finished with you yet. Listen to me carefully today. There is something you have believed for far too long. You have looked at certain situations in your life and concluded that they are finished, You have looked at certain dreams and decided they will never happen. You have looked at certain relationships and assumed they can never improve. You have looked at certain opportunities and accepted that they are gone forever. And because of what your eyes could see, you quietly stopped expecting anything to change. But I want to challenge that thinking today. Just because you cannot see a way forward does not mean one does not exist. Just because a door appears closed does not mean I have finished working. Just because something has been delayed does not mean it has been denied. There have been many times throughout your life when I was working in places you could not see. While you were worrying, I was arranging. While you were waiting, I was preparing. While you were questioning, I was building. While you were losing hope, I was making a path. You often measure possibilities according to human limitations. You examine the facts. You examine the circumstances. You examine the obstacles. Then you decide what can and cannot happen. But I do not operate within the limitations that control human understanding. What seems impossible to you is not impossible to me. What seems finished to you is not necessarily finished to me. What seems beyond repair to you is not beyond repair to me. Remember this. The final word does not belong to fear. The final word does not belong to circumstances. The final word does not belong to doubt. The final word belongs to me. Many of you have been carrying disappointment for so long that disappointment has become familiar. You have adjusted your expectations downward. You have protected yourself from future hurt by expecting less. You tell yourself not to hope too much, not to believe too much, not to dream too much, because you are afraid of being disappointed again. I understand why you feel that way. I know what disappointment does to the heart. I know how repeated setbacks can drain enthusiasm. I know how unanswered questions can slowly weaken confidence. But I also know something else. I know that hope is still alive within you. You would not be listening to these words if hope had completely disappeared. Deep inside you there remains a small flame, a quiet expectation, a hidden belief, a lingering desire that things can still become better. That flame came from me, and I want you to protect it. Do not allow negativity to extinguish it. Do not allow fear to smother it. Do not allow discouragement to convince you that nothing good is ahead. Because there are things coming that you cannot yet see. There are answers being prepared. There are opportunities being formed. There are connections being arranged. There are blessings developing beyond your current vision. Some of the greatest changes begin long before they become visible. Think about sunrise. The sun begins to rise before the world notices. The darkness starts losing its power before the light fully appears. Change often works the same way. Progress begins before it becomes obvious. Breakthrough begins before it becomes visible. Restoration begins before it becomes complete. That is why you must not judge your future by your present circumstances. The story is still unfolding. Some of you have prayed for direction. You have asked me what to do next. You have asked which path to take. You have asked for clarity. And because the answer has not arrived immediately, you have become anxious. But listen carefully. When the time is right, I know how to make my direction clear. You do not have to force every answer. You do not have to solve every mystery. You do not have to rush every decision. Some answers become clear only after patience has done its work. Trust me enough to wait when waiting is necessary. Trust me enough to move when moving is necessary. Trust me enough to believe that I am capable of guiding your steps. I am not confused about your future. I am not uncertain about your purpose. I am not surprised by your circumstances. I know exactly where you are. And I know exactly where I am leading you. There are moments when life feels stuck. You feel like nothing is changing, nothing is improving, nothing is moving, but appearances can be misleading. A tree grows underground before it grows above ground. Roots develop before branches appear. Strength develops before fruit appears. Preparation happens before manifestation. The same is true in your life. What feels like stagnation may actually be preparation. What feels like delay may actually be development. What feels like waiting may actually be growth. That is why I need you to remain faithful in this season. Continue learning, continue growing, continue trusting, continue showing kindness. Continue choosing faith. Continue walking forward. Your consistency matters. Your attitude matters. Your willingness to trust me matters. Do not underestimate the importance of what you do during the waiting season. The habits you build now will help sustain the blessings that come later. The wisdom you gain now will help you handle future opportunities. The character you develop now will help you navigate future success. Nothing is wasted. Every lesson matters. Every prayer matters. Every act of faith matters. And every step forward matters. If you are facing a situation that seems impossible right now, I want you to remember this truth. What looks impossible from your position may already have a solution from mine. Keep believing, keep trusting, keep expecting, not because circumstances guarantee success, but because I remain faithful. If these words encourage your heart today, write, "I will keep believing" in the comments as a declaration of faith over your future. And stay until the end of this journey, because each message is designed to help you grow stronger spiritually, overcome discouragement, and apply timeless principles that can bring peace, wisdom, and hope into your everyday life. The door you thought was closed forever is not beyond my reach. The opportunity you thought was lost is not beyond my reach. The future you thought was impossible is not beyond my reach. Keep walking, keep trusting, keep looking forward, because I am still working on your behalf. Pause for a moment and listen with your heart. I know that waiting has not been easy for you. There have been days when you felt strong and hopeful. There have been days when you believed that change was close. But there have also been days when the waiting felt heavy. Days when you questioned whether anything was truly happening. Days when you wondered if your prayers were still being heard. I know those moments. I know the thoughts that visit you when everything becomes quiet. I know the frustration that comes when you have done everything you know to do, yet the answer has not arrived. I know the exhaustion of hoping for something that seems delayed. But I want you to understand something important today. Waiting is not wasted when it is placed in my hands. The world often treats waiting as failure. The world teaches you that if something does not happen immediately, it is not worth pursuing. The world celebrates quick results and instant rewards, but many of the most valuable things I do in your life happen slowly. Not because I enjoy making you wait, not because I enjoy watching you struggle, but because some blessings require preparation. Some answers require growth. Some opportunities require wisdom that can only be developed through time. Think about the strongest trees. They do not grow overnight. Their roots reach deep before their branches rise high. The storms they survive become part of their strength. The seasons they endure become part of their stability. And when strong winds arrive, they remain standing because their roots were developed in hidden places. That is what I am doing in you. I am strengthening your roots. I am building depth within you. I am developing qualities that cannot be purchased, borrowed, or rushed. Patience, wisdom, discernment, faith, endurance, character. These treasures are being formed inside you right now. You may not always notice the process. You may not always feel the progress. But that does not mean progress is absent. Growth often happens quietly. The greatest transformations are frequently invisible while they are taking place. There are things you can handle today that once would have overwhelmed you. There are situations you can face today that once would have frightened you. There are lessons you understand today that once confused you. That is growth. That is evidence that I have been working within you. Do not overlook it simply because it happened gradually. Many people want visible miracles while ignoring the invisible miracles taking place inside them. but inner transformation often becomes the foundation for outward blessing. Before I change circumstances, I often strengthen the person who will walk through those circumstances. Before I open a door, I often prepare the one who will walk through it. Before I increase responsibility, I often increase wisdom. That is why this season matters. This season is not empty. This season is not meaningless. This season is not punishment. This season is preparation. I know some of you have asked, how much longer? You have looked at your situation and wondered when things will finally shift. You have watched others move forward and questioned why your own progress feels slower. You have compared your timeline to someone else's timeline, and comparison has stolen your peace. Listen carefully. Do not compare your journey to theirs. I am writing a unique story through your life. What I am doing in someone else's life is not a measure of what I am doing in yours. Different assignments require different preparation. Different callings require different timing. Different purposes require different paths. Trust the path I have chosen for you. Trust the timing I have chosen for you. Trust the process I have chosen for you. I see the complete picture. You see one piece at a time. That is why trust is necessary. Trust allows you to move forward without possessing every answer. Trust allows you to keep believing when evidence feels incomplete. Trust allows you to maintain hope during uncertain seasons. And trust always strengthens the soul. I want you to remember something else. You are stronger than you think, not because of your own power, not because of your own ability, but because I have been sustaining you. Every difficult season you survived added strength. Every challenge you overcame added wisdom. Every disappointment you endured added resilience. The things that tried to break you have actually been shaping you. The things that tried to stop you have been teaching you. The things that seemed against you have been preparing you. One day you will look back and realize that the waiting was not your enemy. The waiting was part of your preparation. The waiting developed patience. The waiting deepened faith. The waiting strengthened character. The waiting positioned you for what was ahead. That is why I need you to keep moving forward. Do not allow frustration to become bitterness. Do not allow disappointment to become hopelessness. Do not allow delay to become doubt. Continue trusting. Continue praying. Continue growing. Continue believing. The answer may not arrive exactly when you expected, but my timing is never careless. My timing is never random. My timing is never late. What I bring into your life at the proper time carries a different kind of blessing. A blessing supported by wisdom. A blessing supported by preparation. A blessing supported by maturity. And those blessings often last far longer than the things gained too quickly. So lift your head today. The story is still unfolding. The process is still working. The preparation is still happening. And your future is still being shaped by my hands. If these words speak to your heart, write, "I trust the process," in the comments as your declaration of faith today, and stay with this message series until the very end. The lessons ahead are designed to help you overcome fear, strengthen your walk with me, develop wisdom for everyday life, and discover truths that can transform the way you face every season. If these messages have encouraged your heart and brought peace to your spirit, consider helping this ministry continue reaching others. Like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and support this work if you feel led to do so. Every act of encouragement helps these words reach another person searching for strength, comfort, and direction. Remember this: I am not wasting your waiting. I am turning it into strength. I am turning it into wisdom. I am turning it into a testimony. And when the time is right, you will understand why the journey mattered. Listen carefully, because this message is for the part of you that has been quietly struggling, the part that still believes, yet sometimes questions, the part that prays, yet occasionally wonders, the part that trusts, yet still battles uncertainty. I know there are moments when doubt tries to enter your thoughts, not because you do not love me, not because you have abandoned your faith, but because life has tested you, because circumstances have challenged you, because waiting has stretched you, because disappointment has visited you more than once. I understand that. I understand what it feels like when hope and uncertainty seem to exist in the same heart. But today, I want to remind you of something important. Do not allow temporary circumstances to make permanent conclusions. Do not decide what your future holds based solely on what you see right now. What you see today is only one moment, one chapter, one season. It is not the entire story. Many times you have looked at your life and assumed that current conditions would remain forever. When things were difficult, you thought they would always be difficult. When opportunities disappeared, you thought they would never return. When relationships struggled, you thought they could never improve. When finances became tight, you thought provision would never come. When doors closed, you assumed they would remain closed forever. Yet how many times have you already seen circumstances change? How many times have you already witnessed unexpected breakthroughs? How many times have answers arrived from places you never expected? How many times have I made a way when no path seemed visible? You have seen my faithfulness before. That same faithfulness remains with you now. My character has not changed. My power has not changed. My love for you has not changed. The promises I have spoken over your life are not weakened by delays. They are not canceled by obstacles. They are not destroyed by setbacks. A promise does not lose its truth simply because time passes. A seed does not stop growing simply because it remains underground for a season. Growth is still taking place. Development is still happening. Preparation is still unfolding. That is what I need you to remember. Some of you spend too much time focusing on what has not happened yet. You count what is missing. You measure what has been delayed. You focus on what still feels incomplete, and without realizing it, you overlook the many ways I have already been blessing you. You overlook the strength I have given you. You overlook the lessons you have learned. You overlook the protection you have received. You overlook the opportunities that did arrive. You overlook the growth that already took place. Take a moment today and look again. Look at how far you have come. Look at what you survived. Look at what you learned. Look at how much stronger you are now than you were before. You may not be where you want to be yet, but you are not where you used to be, and that matters. Progress matters. Growth matters. Every step matters, even the small ones. Especially the small ones. Many people wait for dramatic miracles while ignoring daily miracles. The strength to keep going. The courage to try again. The wisdom to make a better decision. The peace that arrives in the middle of chaos. The encouragement that appears exactly when it is needed. These things matter. These things are evidence of my presence. Do not underestimate them. I am working in ways you can see, and I am working in ways you cannot see. I am opening doors you do not know about yet. I am connecting people whose paths will eventually cross yours. I am arranging opportunities that have not yet become visible. I am protecting you from things you never even knew existed. I am constantly working for your good. Not every blessing arrives with an announcement. Not every answer arrives with dramatic signs. Sometimes my greatest work happens quietly. A peaceful heart, a wiser mind, a healthier perspective, a stronger spirit, a renewed sense of purpose. These are gifts too, and they prepare you for even greater things ahead. I know some of you have become discouraged because the timeline did not match your expectations. You thought certain things would happen sooner. You expected answers earlier. You expected breakthroughs faster. But your expectations and my timing are not always the same. Remember this. Delay does not mean denial. Delay often means preparation. There are things you requested that I fully intend to bring into your life. But first, I am making sure you are ready to receive them. Because what I provide is meant to bless you, not burden you. I want you prepared. I want you strengthened. I want you ready. That is why patience is so valuable. Patience allows preparation to finish its work. Patience allows wisdom to grow. Patience allows character to mature. Patience allows faith to deepen. And when the appointed moment arrives, you will see that what felt slow was actually purposeful. So stop doubting what I have already spoken. Stop allowing fear to rewrite the promises. Stop allowing circumstances to become louder than my truth. Choose faith. Choose trust. Choose hope. Not because everything is perfect, but because I am faithful. And my faithfulness is greater than every obstacle standing before you. If these words resonate with your spirit today, write "I choose faith" in the comments as your declaration of trust. And stay with this journey until the very end. Because every message ahead contains wisdom, encouragement, and practical truths that can help strengthen your faith, renew your perspective, and guide you through every season of life. Remember this today. What I have spoken over your life still stands. What I have promised is still alive. What I have begun, I will continue. And what I am preparing for you is worth the wait. Listen to me closely. There is something that has been trying to steal your peace. Something that has followed you into your mornings. Something that has interrupted your sleep. Something that has whispered worst-case scenarios into your thoughts. That thing is fear. Fear about the future. Fear about what might happen. Fear about what could go wrong. Fear about whether you will have enough. Fear about whether things will work out. Fear about whether you are capable of handling what lies ahead. I know those fears. I know how convincing they can sound. I know how they try to disguise themselves as wisdom. They tell you they are helping you prepare. They tell you they are protecting you. They tell you they are keeping you safe. But many times, fear does not protect you. It imprisons you. It keeps you focused on problems instead of possibilities. It keeps you staring at obstacles instead of opportunities. It keeps you trapped in imaginary battles that have not even happened. And while fear talks endlessly about what could go wrong, it rarely mentions what could go right. That is why I want you to hear my voice today instead of the voice of fear. Fear says you are alone. I say I am with you. Fear says you are not strong enough. I say, my strength is already working within you. Fear says the future is uncertain. I say, I am already standing in your future. Fear says you will fail. I say, I will guide your steps. Fear says there is no way forward. I say, I am making a way even now. Which voice will you believe? That choice matters more than you realize, because the voice you listen to will influence the direction you walk. Many people spend years being controlled by fears that never come true. They postpone joy. They postpone peace. They postpone purpose. They postpone growth. Not because the danger was real, but because the fear felt real. Do not allow fear to steal years that were meant to be lived. Do not surrender your peace to possibilities that may never happen. You were not created to live constantly expecting disaster. You were created to live with faith. Faith does not mean ignoring reality. Faith means believing that I am greater than reality's challenges. Faith means trusting me when every detail is not visible. Faith means continuing forward, even when certainty has not fully arrived. Some of you are carrying financial fears. You wonder how things will work out. You wonder whether there will be enough. You wonder how future needs will be met. Listen carefully. I know your needs. I know every bill. I know every concern. I know every responsibility resting on your shoulders. Nothing about your situation is hidden from me. The same God who has carried you this far is capable of carrying you further. The same God who provided before can provide again. Do not confuse temporary difficulty with permanent lack. Do not assume that today's challenge defines tomorrow's outcome. Your story is still being written. Others are carrying fears about relationships. You fear losing someone. You fear rejection. You fear disappointment. You fear being misunderstood. You fear being hurt again. I understand those fears. Pain from the past often tries to predict the future. But your future is not required to repeat your past. Healing is possible. Growth is possible. Restoration is possible. New beginnings are possible. Do not allow old wounds to dictate future expectations. Some of you fear failure. You hesitate to move forward because you are afraid of making mistakes. You hesitate to pursue opportunities because you are afraid of rejection. You hesitate to use your gifts because you are afraid of criticism. Listen carefully. No one grows without mistakes. No one learns without challenges. No one succeeds without risk. Stop demanding perfection from yourself before taking action. I never asked you to be perfect. I asked you to be faithful. Faithfulness matters more than perfection. Obedience matters more than flawless performance. Willingness matters more than having every answer. Take the next step. Trust me with the outcome. You do not have to see the entire path before you begin walking. A lamp lights the next step before it lights the entire road. That is how guidance often works. I reveal enough for movement. Then, more becomes visible as you continue. Trust the process. Trust my leadership. Trust my wisdom. You are not expected to carry the future. You are only asked to walk faithfully today. The future belongs to me. And because it belongs to me, you can rest. Not because every problem has disappeared, but because I remain greater than every problem. There are blessings waiting beyond your fear. There are opportunities waiting beyond your fear. There is growth waiting beyond your fear. There is freedom waiting beyond your fear. Something that has followed you into your mornings. Something that has interrupted your sleep. Something that has whispered worst-case scenarios into your thoughts. That thing is fear. Fear about the future. Fear about what might happen. Fear about what could go wrong. Fear about whether you will have enough. Fear about whether things will work out. Fear about whether you are capable of handling what lies ahead. I know those fears. I know how convincing they can sound. I know how they try to disguise themselves as wisdom. They tell you they are helping you prepare. They tell you they are protecting you. They tell you they are keeping you safe. But many times, fear does not protect you. It imprisons you. It keeps you focused on problems instead of possibilities. It keeps you staring at obstacles instead of opportunities. It keeps you trapped in imaginary battles that have not even happened. And while fear talks endlessly about what could go wrong, it rarely mentions what could go right. That is why I want you to hear my voice today instead of the voice of fear. Fear says you are alone. I say I am with you. Fear says you are not strong enough. I say, my strength is already working within you. Fear says the future is uncertain. I say, I am already standing in your future. Fear says you will fail. I say, I will guide your steps. Fear says there is no way forward. I say, I am making a way even now. Which voice will you believe? That choice matters more than you realize, because the voice you listen to will influence the direction you walk. Many people spend years being controlled by fears that never come true. They postpone joy. They postpone peace. They postpone purpose. They postpone growth. Not because the danger was real, but because the fear felt real. Do not allow fear to steal years that were meant to be lived. Do not surrender your peace to possibilities that may never happen. You were not created to live constantly expecting disaster. You were created to live with faith. Faith does not mean ignoring reality. Faith means believing that I am greater than reality's challenges. Faith means trusting me when every detail is not visible. Faith means continuing forward, even when certainty has not fully arrived. Some of you are carrying financial fears. You wonder how things will work out. You wonder whether there will be enough. You wonder how future needs will be met. Listen carefully. I know your needs. I know every bill. I know every concern. I know every responsibility resting on your shoulders. Nothing about your situation is hidden from me. The same God who has carried you this far is capable of carrying you further. The same God who provided before can provide again. Do not confuse temporary difficulty with permanent lack. Do not assume that today's challenge defines tomorrow's outcome. Your story is still being written. Others are carrying fears about relationships. You fear losing someone. You fear rejection. You fear disappointment. You fear being misunderstood. You fear being hurt again. I understand those fears. Pain from the past often tries to predict the future. But your future is not required to repeat your past. Healing is possible. Growth is possible. Restoration is possible. New beginnings are possible. Do not allow old wounds to dictate future expectations. Some of you fear failure. You hesitate to move forward because you are afraid of making mistakes. You hesitate to pursue opportunities because you are afraid of rejection. You hesitate to use your gifts because you are afraid of criticism. Listen carefully. No one grows without mistakes. No one learns without challenges. No one succeeds without risk. Stop demanding perfection from yourself before taking action. I never asked you to be perfect. I asked you to be faithful. Faithfulness matters more than perfection. Obedience matters more than flawless performance. Willingness matters more than having every answer. Take the next step. Trust me with the outcome. You do not have to see the entire path before you begin walking. A lamp lights the next step before it lights the entire road. That is how guidance often works. I reveal enough for movement. Then, more becomes visible as you continue. Trust the process. Trust my leadership. Trust my wisdom. You are not expected to carry the future. You are only asked to walk faithfully today. The future belongs to me. And because it belongs to me, you can rest. Not because every problem has disappeared, but because I remain greater than every problem. There are blessings waiting beyond your fear. There are opportunities waiting beyond your fear. There is growth waiting beyond your fear. There is freedom waiting beyond your fear. But you must stop allowing fear to be your guide. Let faith lead. Let trust lead. Let hope lead. Every time fear tries to speak louder than my promises, return your attention to my truth. My truth is stronger. My truth is steadier. My truth is eternal. Fear changes constantly. My promises remain. So today I want you to make a decision. Choose courage. Choose trust. Choose forward movement. Choose faith. Not because everything feels easy, but because I am walking with you. And if I am with you, you already possess more strength than you realize. If this message is speaking directly to your heart, write "Fear will not control me" in the comments as your declaration today, and continue watching until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to help you overcome fear, strengthen your faith, apply spiritual wisdom in practical ways, and experience greater peace in your everyday life. Remember this: fear is not your master. Fear is not your future. Fear is not your identity. I am leading you forward. And where I lead, fear does not get the final word. Be still for a moment and listen carefully. There is a reason you are hearing these words today. For a long time, your heart has been carrying more than it was designed to carry. You have carried responsibilities. You have carried expectations. You have carried concerns about people you love. You have carried questions about your future. You have carried burdens that were never meant to become permanent residents in your spirit. And little by little, those burdens have tried to steal your peace. Not all at once, not dramatically, but gradually. A little more worry, a little more pressure, a little more stress, a little more uncertainty, until what once felt manageable began to feel overwhelming. I know exactly where you are. I know the thoughts that circle through your mind. I know the concerns you rarely speak aloud. I know the hidden weight you carry when no one else is around. And today I want to remind you of something important. Peace is not something you earn. Peace is something you receive. The world often teaches that peace comes after every problem is solved, after every bill is paid, after every relationship is fixed, after every question is answered, after every challenge disappears. But if peace only arrived after problems disappeared, very few people would ever experience it. That is not the kind of peace I offer. The peace I give remains even when circumstances are still developing. The peace I give remains even when answers are still coming. The peace I give remains even when challenges still exist. Because true peace is not based on circumstances. True peace is based on my presence. When you remember that I am with you, something changes. The burden becomes lighter. The pressure becomes smaller. The fear loses some of its power. The uncertainty becomes more manageable. Not because the situation changed immediately, but because your perspective changed. You began looking at the situation through faith instead of fear. Many of you have spent years trying to carry responsibilities that belong to me. You carry tomorrow before it arrives. You carry the outcomes of situations you cannot control. You carry the opinions of people you cannot satisfy. You carry worries about things that have not happened. And every time you do, your peace becomes weaker. I never asked you to carry those things. I asked you to trust me with them. Trust is not passive. Trust is active. Trust means placing the burden in my hands and refusing to pick it back up every few minutes. Trust means believing that I am working even when you cannot see evidence yet. Trust means choosing faith repeatedly. Some of you have become so accustomed to worry that peace feels unfamiliar. When things are calm, you expect something bad to happen. When things are going well, you become nervous that it will not last. When opportunities appear, you immediately imagine everything that could go wrong. Listen carefully. That is not how I want you to live. You were not created to live under constant anxiety. You were not created to spend every day expecting disaster. You were not created to be controlled by uncertainty. You were created to walk with confidence in my care. You were created to live with hope. You were created to move forward with courage. That does not mean challenges will disappear. It means challenges no longer control your inner world. There is a difference. Storms may still exist around you, but peace can exist within you. Difficulties may still arise, but confidence can remain within you. Questions may still exist, but trust can remain within you. That is the peace I am building. A peace that survives storms. A peace that survives waiting. A peace that survives uncertainty. A peace that remains steady when everything around it feels unstable. And let me tell you something else. The season ahead requires peace. The opportunities ahead require peace. The responsibilities ahead require peace. The blessings ahead require peace. Because a peaceful heart sees clearly. A peaceful heart makes wiser decisions. A peaceful heart recognizes opportunities. A peaceful heart hears my guidance more easily. That is why I am teaching you to release unnecessary burdens. I am preparing you for what comes next. Not just externally, internally. I am strengthening your spirit. I am renewing your mind. I am restoring your confidence. I am helping you become the person capable of carrying the blessings that are ahead. Some of you are waiting for peace to arrive someday. But peace can begin today, right now, in this moment. Not because every problem is solved, but because I am here, closer than you realize, more involved than you realize, more attentive than you realize. I have not forgotten your prayers. I have not ignored your tears. I have not overlooked your struggles. I have not abandoned your future. I remain actively involved in every detail of your life. Even when you cannot see my hand is working. Even when you cannot hear my voice is guiding. Even when you cannot understand my timing is protecting. That is why you can rest. Not in your own strength, not in your own plans, not in your own understanding, but in me. Take a deep breath today. Release what you cannot control. Release what does not belong to you. Release the fear of tomorrow. Release the pressure to have every answer. Release the burden of trying to carry the entire future by yourself. And receive the peace I am offering. If this message speaks to your heart today, write, "I receive your peace," in the comments as your declaration of faith, and continue watching until the very end of this journey. Because every message ahead is designed to help you apply these truths in practical ways, strengthen your daily walk with me, and discover wisdom that can transform your life from the inside out. Remember this, you do not have to carry everything. You do not have to solve everything. You do not have to understand everything. You only need to keep walking with me, and as you do, my peace will guide your heart into the new season I am preparing for you. Listen carefully today. There was a time when you believed more easily. There was a time when you stepped forward without overthinking every possibility. There was a time when hope felt natural. There was a time when confidence flowed freely from your heart. But life happened. Disappointments arrived. Plans changed. People let you down. Unexpected losses appeared. Prayers seemed delayed. And little by little, something inside you began to change. You became more cautious, more guarded, more hesitant. Not because you wanted to, but because pain taught you to protect yourself. I understand why that happened. I understand why trust became harder. I understand why you stopped expecting good things as often. I understand why hope sometimes feels risky. The wounds you experienced were real. The disappointments were real. The setbacks were real. But I want you to hear something very important today. Your past disappointments are not authorized to define your future. Just because something did not work before does not mean it will never work. Just because someone betrayed your trust does not mean everyone will. Just because one door closed does not mean every door will close. Just because one season was difficult does not mean every season will be. The enemy of your peace often tries to convince you that yesterday will repeat itself forever. He wants you to believe that your future is limited by your past experiences. He wants you to assume that every opportunity will end in disappointment. Every relationship will end in pain. Every attempt will end in failure. But that is not the truth. I am not limited by what happened yesterday. I am not restricted by your past. I am not defeated by your mistakes. I am not hindered by your disappointments. I am still creating new possibilities. I am still opening new doors. I am still writing new chapters. And many of the things you thought were over are not over at all. They are simply unfinished. Some of you have stopped believing in yourselves. You look at your weaknesses more than your strengths. You focus on your failures more than your growth. You remember your mistakes more than your victories. You have become your own harshest critic. But that is not how I see you. I see the person who kept going when quitting would have been easier. I see the person who continued believing when circumstances offered very little encouragement. I see the person who survived seasons that should have broken them. I see courage that you often overlook. I see strength that you rarely acknowledge. I see resilience that you take for granted. You have come much farther than you realize. Many people would have surrendered under the pressure you endured. Many people would have abandoned hope. Many people would have stopped trying. Yet you continued, not perfectly, not without struggles, not without questions, but you continued. That matters. It matters more than you know. I am proud of the growth taking place inside you. Even when you cannot see it, even when others do not recognize it, even when progress feels slow, growth is still happening. There are lessons you have learned that can never be taken away. There is wisdom you have gained that cannot be erased. There is strength within you that was forged through experience. And now I want you to begin seeing yourself through my perspective. Stop defining yourself by your worst moments. Stop measuring yourself by your failures. Stop assuming your mistakes are the most important thing about you. They are not. Your mistakes are chapters. They are not the entire book. Your setbacks are events. They are not your identity. Your disappointments are experiences. They are not your destiny. I have always seen more in you than you see in yourself. I see potential where you see limitations. I see purpose where you see confusion. I see possibilities where you see obstacles. I see future victories where you currently see uncertainty. That is why I continue calling you forward. Not because you are perfect, but because you are growing. Not because you have every answer, but because you are willing to trust me. Not because you never struggle, but because you keep returning to faith. That willingness matters. And I want you to know something else. Confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is agreement with what I say about you. Confidence is believing my truth instead of your fears. Confidence is trusting my perspective more than your doubts. Confidence is walking forward, even when your feelings have not fully caught up with your faith. Some days confidence will feel strong. Some days it will feel fragile. That is normal. Do not wait until every doubt disappears before taking the next step. Move forward anyway. Trust anyway. Believe anyway. Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing faith despite fear. And every time you choose faith, confidence grows stronger. I am rebuilding what disappointment tried to destroy. I am restoring what fear tried to steal. I am strengthening what adversity tried to weaken. I am reminding you of who you truly are. Not who your fears say you are. Not who your mistakes say you are. But who I say you are. You are capable. You are growing. You are loved. You are guided. You are chosen. And your future remains full of possibilities. Do not give up on yourself, because I have not given up on you. Do not stop believing, because I am still working. Do not stop moving forward, because there are blessings ahead that require your continued faithfulness. If this message speaks directly to your heart today, write, "I will walk in confidence," in the comments as your declaration of faith, and continue watching until the very end of this journey, because each message is designed to help you grow stronger, think differently, overcome discouragement, and apply life-changing truths that can transform your daily walk with me. Remember this today. The confidence you lost is being restored. The hope you misplaced is being renewed. The strength you questioned is still within you. And the future you have been praying for is closer than you think. Listen carefully, because what I am about to tell you will change the way you view this season. Many times you have asked me why certain things happened. You have wondered why the journey became difficult. You have questioned why some doors closed unexpectedly. You have questioned why certain opportunities disappeared. You have questioned why progress seemed slower than you hoped. And because you could not see the entire picture, you assumed the delay had no purpose. But today I want you to understand something important. Preparation often feels like postponement when you cannot see what is being built. You see waiting. I see preparation. You see obstacles. I see development. You see delay. I see positioning. You see limitations. I see opportunities that have not yet arrived. There is more happening in your life than you currently realize. I am not only working on your circumstances, I am working on you. I am shaping your character. I am strengthening your faith. I am deepening your wisdom. I am expanding your understanding. I am preparing you for responsibilities that require greater maturity. Many people ask for larger blessings without understanding that larger blessings require larger capacity. They ask for greater opportunities without preparing for greater responsibility. They ask for influence without developing wisdom. They ask for success without developing character. But I care too much about you to place you somewhere you are not prepared to stand. That is why preparation matters. That is why growth matters. That is why this season matters. You are learning things now that will serve you later. The patience you are developing now will help you handle future success. The wisdom you are gaining now will help you make better decisions later. The endurance you are building now will help sustain you through future challenges. Nothing is random. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is meaningless. Every lesson has value. Every challenge contains an opportunity for growth. Every season carries a purpose, even the difficult ones. Especially the difficult ones. Think about the strongest people you know. Their strength did not come from easy seasons. Their wisdom did not come from comfortable seasons. Their character did not come from effortless seasons. The qualities you admire were often developed through challenges. The same is true for you. The very experiences you wish had never happened are helping shape qualities that will serve you for years to come. I know there are parts of your journey you would never have chosen. I understand that. I know there are losses you never wanted, disappointments you never expected, struggles you never planned. But even in those situations, I have been working. I have been bringing growth out of difficulty, wisdom out of confusion, strength out of weakness, purpose out of pain. That is what I do. I redeem, I restore, I rebuild, I transform. And I am doing that in your life right now. Some of you have become discouraged because you cannot see immediate results. You want evidence. You want confirmation. You want visible signs. But growth often happens long before visible results appear. A foundation is built before the structure rises. Roots develop before fruit appears. Preparation happens before promotion. That is why I need you to remain faithful during this season. Continue learning. Continue growing. Continue trusting. Continue becoming the person I am calling you to be. Do not become so focused on reaching the destination that you miss the transformation happening during the journey. The person you are becoming matters. The lessons you are learning matter. The wisdom you are gaining matters. And one day, when you look back, you will understand why this season was necessary. You will see connections that are hidden today. You will understand reasons that are unclear today. You will recognize blessings that are invisible today. For now, trust me. Trust my timing. Trust my process. Trust my leadership. I know where I am taking you. I know what I am preparing you for. I know what is waiting ahead. And what is ahead is greater than what is behind. Do not allow temporary discomfort to convince you that nothing good is happening. Some of my greatest works happen quietly. A stronger spirit, a wiser mind, a healthier perspective, a deeper faith, a more resilient heart. These things may not receive attention from the world, but they are treasures. They prepare you for the future I am building. There are opportunities coming that require the wisdom you are gaining right now. There are blessings coming that require the maturity you are developing right now. There are assignments coming that require the strength you are building right now. That is why you cannot give up. You cannot quit halfway through preparation. You cannot abandon the process because the results are not visible yet. Keep going. Keep believing. Keep trusting. The work is happening. The growth is happening. The preparation is happening. And when the appointed moment arrives, you will realize that nothing was wasted. Every lesson mattered. Every prayer mattered. Every challenge mattered. Every step mattered. If this message speaks to your heart today, write, "I trust your preparation," in the comments as a declaration of faith, and stay with this journey until the very end. The messages ahead are designed to help you strengthen your faith, discover practical wisdom for daily living, overcome discouragement, and better understand the purpose behind the seasons you walk through. If these messages have encouraged your heart, brought you peace, or helped you grow spiritually, consider supporting this ministry and sharing these words with others. Your support helps this message reach people who are searching for hope, guidance, and encouragement. Together, you become part of helping someone find light during a difficult season. Remember this today. I am not merely preparing blessings for you. I am preparing you for the blessings. And what I am building in you right now is more valuable than you can currently imagine. Come closer and listen carefully. There is something I want to remind you today, because many of you have been carrying a question deep within your heart. You have wondered whether your prayers still matter. You have wondered whether the words you whispered late at night were truly heard. You have wondered whether the requests you brought before me years ago were somehow forgotten. You have wondered whether the silence means I moved on while you were still waiting. But hear me clearly today. I have not forgotten a single prayer. Not one. Not the prayer you prayed through tears. Not the prayer you prayed in desperation. Not the prayer you prayed while sitting alone in your room. Not the prayer you prayed while driving, walking, working, or lying awake at night. Every word reached me. Every hope reached me. Every cry reached me. Every request reached me. Nothing was lost. Nothing disappeared. Nothing went unnoticed. I know there were times when you expected an answer quickly. You thought the breakthrough would come immediately. You thought the door would open right away. You thought the situation would change within days or weeks. But time passed. And because the answer did not arrive according to your schedule, doubt began to speak. Doubt asked questions. Fear suggested conclusions. Discouragement whispered lies. And slowly, you began wondering if your prayers still mattered. But I want you to understand something. The value of a prayer is not determined by how quickly you see the answer. The value of a prayer is found in the relationship it creates. Every time you turned toward me, something important happened. Every time you trusted me enough to pray, your faith grew. Every time you brought your burdens to me, you invited my peace into your life. Prayer was never meant to be a transaction alone. Prayer is connection. Prayer is trust. Prayer is surrender. Prayer is relationship. And because of that, no sincere prayer is ever wasted. There are some things you asked for that I answered immediately. There are other things I answered differently than you expected. And there are still other things that are unfolding according to a timing larger than what you can currently see. I understand that waiting is difficult. I understand that uncertainty can be frustrating. I understand that delays can test your faith. But delays do not mean neglect. Delays do not mean rejection. Delays do not mean abandonment. Many times, what appears to be a delay is actually preparation. Preparation within circumstances. Preparation within other people. Preparation within opportunities. And sometimes, preparation within you. You often see only the request. I see everything connected to the request. I see consequences. I see timing. I see opportunities. I see dangers. I see blessings. I see the complete picture. That is why my answers are guided by wisdom rather than urgency. Trust that I know what I am doing. Trust that I understand what is best for you. Trust that I am working even when you cannot see the movement. Some of you have stopped praying certain prayers because disappointment made hoping feel painful. You stopped asking because repeated waiting exhausted you. You stopped expecting because previous delays discouraged you. But deep inside your heart, the desire never completely disappeared. The dream still exists. The hope still exists. The longing still exists. And I know exactly what it is. I know the prayer you have not spoken recently. I know the request you quietly buried. I know the hope you stopped discussing with others. I know the dream you almost convinced yourself to abandon. And I want you to know that I have not forgotten it. Just because something has not happened yet does not mean nothing is happening. Seeds grow before they become visible. Foundations are laid before buildings rise. Preparation occurs before opportunity arrives. Trust what you cannot currently see. Trust that my work continues even in silence. Some of the greatest answers arrive after the greatest periods of preparation. Not because I enjoy making you wait, but because I care about the outcome. I care about the blessing. I care about the person receiving it. I care about the timing. I care about your future. And because I care, I refuse to rush what requires wisdom. I would rather prepare something thoroughly than deliver something prematurely. That is love. That is care. That is wisdom. Today, I want you to release the belief that your prayers were ignored. Release the belief that your faith has been wasted. Release the belief that silence means absence. I am here. I have always been here. I remain involved. I remain attentive. I remain faithful. And I remain committed to the good work I began in your life. Do not stop believing simply because you cannot see everything. Do not stop trusting simply because you do not know every detail. Do not stop praying simply because the answer has not fully appeared. Continue bringing your heart to me. Continue walking with me. Continue trusting me. Because the story is not finished. The answer is not finished. The process is not finished. And I am not finished. If these words speak directly to your heart today, write, "My prayers are heard," in the comments as your declaration of faith, and continue watching until the very end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, deepen your trust, and help you apply these truths in practical ways that bring peace, wisdom, and purpose into your daily life. Remember this: I have not forgotten a single prayer. I have not overlooked a single tear. I have not ignored a single cry, and I am still working on your behalf, even now. Listen carefully today. I know one of the greatest struggles you face. It is not always the obstacle in front of you. It is not always the challenge surrounding you. Often, it is the uncertainty about what comes next. You want clarity. You want direction. You want to know exactly how everything will unfold. You want to see the entire path before taking the next step. You want certainty before movement. You want guarantees before action. But that is not how faith grows. Faith grows when you trust me with the next step, not the next 100 steps, not the entire journey, just the next step. Many of you are exhausted because you are trying to solve problems that belong to next year while still living in today. You are trying to predict every possible outcome. You are trying to prepare for every possible challenge. You are trying to eliminate every uncertainty. And because of that, your mind rarely rests. But listen to me. You were never designed to carry that responsibility. You were never meant to know everything. You were never meant to control everything. You were never meant to understand everything. That position already belongs to me. I see what you cannot see. I know what you cannot know. I understand what you cannot yet understand. That is why trust is so important. Trust allows you to move forward without possessing every answer. Trust allows you to rest when uncertainty remains. Trust allows you to continue walking when visibility is limited. Think about how I have guided you throughout your life. Rarely did I show you the entire picture. Rarely did I reveal every detail. Rarely did I explain every reason. Instead, I gave you enough light for the next step, and then another, and then another. That is how growth happens. That is how faith develops. That is how dependence on me deepens. If I showed you every detail of your future today, you would focus more on the destination than on the lessons along the way. You would become distracted by what is ahead instead of learning from where you are. But every season has something valuable to teach you. Every chapter contains wisdom. Every experience carries preparation. And every step matters. Some of you are standing at a crossroads right now. There are decisions to make, questions to answer, directions to consider. And because you do not yet have complete clarity, you feel stuck. You hesitate. You delay. You overanalyze. You wait for perfect certainty. But hear me clearly. Perfect certainty is not required for faithful obedience. If you know the next right step, take it. If you know the next wise decision, make it. If you know the next act of kindness, do it. If you know the next opportunity for growth, pursue it. Stop waiting for complete visibility before moving forward. Movement often creates clarity. Faith often reveals what fear keeps hidden. Action often uncovers opportunities that hesitation never discovers. Do not let fear disguise itself as wisdom. There is a difference. Wisdom seeks guidance. Fear seeks excuses. Wisdom asks questions. Fear avoids movement. Wisdom trusts my timing. Fear distrusts my leadership. Learn to recognize the difference. You do not need to have everything figured out. You only need to remain willing to follow. I am fully capable of directing your path. I know how to open doors. I know how to close doors. I know how to redirect plans. I know how to create opportunities. I know how to guide your steps. And I have been doing exactly that throughout your life. Many times you thought you were lost when you were actually being led. Many times you thought you were delayed when you were actually being protected. Many times you thought nothing was happening when important preparation was taking place. Trust my guidance, even when you do not fully understand it. Trust my wisdom, even when it differs from your expectations. Trust my timing, even when it feels slower than you hoped. Because I see the entire landscape of your future. I know where every path leads. I know where every decision ends. I know which opportunities align with your purpose, and I know which ones do not. That is why I ask you to stay close to me, not because I want to restrict your life, but because I want to guide it, not because I want to control you, but because I want to help you avoid unnecessary pain. Not because I want to limit your future, but because I want to lead you toward the future I prepared for you. The future is not something you need to fear. The future is something I am already preparing. Even now, I am arranging things. Even now, I am creating opportunities. Even now, I am connecting circumstances. Even now, I am working behind the scenes. You may not see it yet, but one day you will. And when you do, you will recognize my hand in places you never expected. You will see how I guided you. You will see how I protected you. You will see how I provided for you. You will see how I remained faithful through every season. Until then, keep walking, keep trusting, keep listening, keep following. Do not become discouraged by what you cannot see. Focus on what I am asking you to do today. That is enough. Today's obedience is enough. Today's faith is enough. Today's trust is enough. Tomorrow will have its own guidance. Tomorrow will have its own strength. Tomorrow will have its own provision. For now, simply walk with me. If this message speaks to your heart today, write "Guide my steps" in the comments as your declaration of faith. And stay until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to help you gain wisdom, strengthen your trust, overcome uncertainty, and apply these truths to your daily life in ways that bring lasting peace and confidence. Remember this: you do not need the entire map. You only need to trust the one who created it, and I will lead you one step at a time. Listen carefully today. There is something that has been affecting your life more than you realize. It influences your decisions. It affects your confidence. It shapes your expectations. It impacts your relationships. It even influences the way you approach your future. It is the way you see yourself. Many of you have spent years looking at yourselves through the wrong lens. You have allowed failures to become mirrors. You have allowed criticism to become identity. You have allowed rejection to become definition. You have allowed painful experiences to become labels. And without realizing it, you started believing things about yourself that I never said. You began calling yourself weak when I was developing strength within you. You began calling yourself unworthy when I had already declared your value. You began calling yourself forgotten when I was walking beside you every step of the way. You began calling yourself broken when I was actively restoring you. Today, I want to correct those lies, because the way you see yourself matters. You cannot consistently walk in confidence if you constantly speak against yourself. You cannot embrace your purpose if you continually doubt your worth. You cannot fully receive what I have for you if you believe you are unqualified for it. Listen to me carefully. You are not what happened to you. You are not the mistakes you made. You are not the failures you experienced. You are not the opinions people formed about you. You are not the labels others placed upon you. You are not your worst day. You are not your deepest struggle. You are not your greatest disappointment. Those things may be chapters in your story, but they are not the title of your story. I know every detail of your life. I know the victories. I know the losses. I know the moments you are proud of. I know the moments you wish you could change. And even knowing all of it, I still love you completely. Think about that for a moment. There is nothing hidden from me. Nothing. Yet my love remains unchanged. My commitment remains unchanged. My plans remain unchanged. My care for you remains unchanged. That should tell you something about your value. Your worth does not come from perfection. Your worth comes from the one who created you. Many people spend their entire lives searching for validation. They seek it through achievement. They seek it through success. They seek it through relationships. They seek it through recognition. They seek it through the approval of others. And yet no amount of external validation ever fully satisfies the heart. Why? Because the deepest need of the human heart cannot be filled by human approval. It can only be filled by truth. And the truth is this: you were created intentionally. You were created with purpose. You were created with value. You were created with meaning. You were created by me. That truth is stronger than every insult, stronger than every criticism, stronger than every rejection, stronger than every failure, stronger than every fear. The world often teaches you to compare yourself to others, to measure your life against their progress, to measure your appearance against theirs, to measure your success against theirs, to measure your journey against theirs. But comparison is one of the quickest ways to lose gratitude, because comparison focuses on what you lack instead of what you have. Comparison focuses on what others are doing instead of what I am doing in your life. Comparison blinds you to your own growth. Comparison blinds you to your own blessings. Comparison blinds you to your own purpose. You were never called to become someone else. You were called to become the person I created you to be. That is enough. More than enough. Some of you have been waiting for confidence to arrive before taking action. You tell yourself that once you feel stronger, you will move forward. Once you feel more capable, you will trust. Once you feel more qualified, you will begin. But confidence often grows after obedience, not before it. Many of the people you admire felt uncertain before they acted. They felt afraid. They felt inadequate. They felt unprepared. But they moved forward anyway. And confidence grew along the journey. Do not wait until every insecurity disappears before pursuing what I placed on your heart. Move forward with faith. Trust that I can strengthen you along the way. Trust that I can teach you what you need to learn. Trust that I can equip you for what I call you to do, because I never ask you to walk alone. I walk with you, I guide you, I strengthen you, I help you. That is why you do not need to fear the future. The future is not dependent solely upon your ability. It is also supported by my presence. And my presence changes everything. So today, I want you to stop speaking against yourself. Stop rehearsing old failures. Stop magnifying old mistakes. Stop agreeing with voices that contradict my truth. Instead, begin agreeing with what I say about you. You are growing. You are learning. You are becoming stronger. You are being guided. You are deeply loved. You are valuable. You are capable of more than you realize. And you are not finished becoming who I created you to be. There are gifts within you that have not fully emerged yet. There is wisdom within you that is still developing. There is strength within you that has not yet been fully tested. There is purpose within you that is still unfolding. Do not underestimate what I can do through a life that trusts me. If these words speak to your heart today, write, "I am who God says I am," in the comments as your declaration of faith, and continue watching until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to help you strengthen your identity, deepen your faith, overcome self-doubt, and apply these truths in ways that can transform your daily life. Remember this: You are not defined by your past. You are not defined by your fears. You are not defined by your failures. You are defined by my love. And that truth has the power to change everything. Listen carefully today. There is something I need you to understand about the difficult seasons you have endured. Many times you have asked why certain things happened, why the disappointment came, why the loss occurred, why the struggle lasted so long, why the pain seemed so heavy, why the road became so difficult. And because you could not immediately see a reason, you assumed there was no purpose behind it. But I want you to hear me clearly. I never waste pain. I never waste tears. I never waste struggles. I never waste seasons of difficulty. Even when you cannot understand the reason, I am still capable of bringing purpose from the pain. Think about your life for a moment. Some of the deepest lessons you have learned came through challenges. Some of the greatest growth happened during difficult seasons. Some of the strongest parts of your character were formed when circumstances were not easy. You did not enjoy those moments. You would not choose many of those experiences again, but they shaped you. They taught you. They strengthened you. And they prepared you. I know there are wounds that still hurt. I know there are memories that still bring sadness. I know there are questions that remain unanswered. I know there are losses that changed the direction of your life. I am not asking you to pretend those things did not matter. They mattered. The pain was real. The disappointment was real. The heartbreak was real. The tears were real. But your suffering was not meaningless. There are things you understand today because of what you endured. There are people you can encourage because of what you survived. There is wisdom you now possess because of what you experienced. There is compassion in your heart because you know what it feels like to hurt. There is strength in your spirit because you learned how to keep going. What tried to destroy you has become part of your testimony. What tried to stop you has become part of your growth. What tried to discourage you has become part of your wisdom. That is how I work. I take what was meant for harm and create something meaningful from it. I take broken pieces and create something beautiful. I take painful chapters and weave them into a greater story. Many people think purpose is found only in success. They think purpose exists only in victories, only in achievements, only in visible blessings. But purpose is often developed in hidden places. Purpose grows during ordinary days. Purpose grows during difficult seasons. Purpose grows while you are learning to trust me. Purpose grows while you are becoming the person I created you to be. Do not underestimate the value of what you have walked through. The lessons you learned matter. The growth you experience matters. The wisdom you gained matters. The strength you developed matters. Nothing has been wasted. Not one prayer. Not one tear. Not one lesson. Not one struggle. Even now, I am using things from your past to prepare you for your future. I am connecting experiences. I am building understanding. I am developing qualities within you that will help others one day. Some of you have been asking me to remove every difficulty from your life. And while I understand that desire, I want you to consider something. The strongest faith is not built in comfort alone. The deepest wisdom is not developed through ease alone. The greatest character is not formed through convenience alone. Growth often requires challenges. Strength often requires resistance. Maturity often requires experience. That is why you cannot judge your life solely by how comfortable it feels. Sometimes the most meaningful growth happens in uncomfortable places. The season you are walking through right now may be preparing you for something greater than you can currently imagine. It may be teaching you patience. It may be teaching you trust. It may be teaching you perseverance. It may be teaching you compassion. It may be teaching you wisdom. And those lessons will serve you for years to come. One day you will look back and recognize things you cannot see today. You will understand why certain doors closed. You will understand why certain opportunities were delayed. You will understand why certain relationships changed. You will understand why certain struggles were allowed. And when you see the bigger picture, you will realize that my hand was present the entire time, even during the hardest moments. Especially during the hardest moments, because I never left you. Not when you cried, not when you doubted, not when you felt exhausted, not when you felt discouraged, not when you felt alone. I remained with you. I strengthened you when you felt weak. I carried you when you felt overwhelmed. I comforted you when your heart was hurting. I guided you when you could not see the path. And I am still doing that today. The pain may have been part of your story, but pain is not the final chapter. The struggle may have been part of your story, but struggle is not the final chapter. The disappointment may have been part of your story, but disappointment is not the final chapter. I am still writing. I am still restoring. I am still building. I am still working. And the story is not finished. So stop believing that your difficult seasons were meaningless. Stop believing that your suffering accomplished nothing. Stop believing that your tears were wasted. Every experience is being used for a purpose. Every lesson is contributing to your growth. Every challenge is helping shape the person you are becoming. If these words speak directly to your heart today, write, "My pain has purpose," in the comments as your declaration of faith. And continue watching until the very end of this journey. Because every message ahead is designed to help you understand your purpose, strengthen your faith, gain practical wisdom, and discover how to apply these truths in everyday life. Remember this: I am not defined by your pain. I am not limited by your past. And I am fully capable of turning what hurt you into something that helps you, strengthens you, and blesses others. Your pain is not the end of your story. It is becoming part of your purpose. Listen carefully today. There is something I need you to stop doing. Stop measuring your future by your past disappointments. Stop looking ahead through the lens of old pain. Stop assuming that tomorrow will repeat yesterday. Stop believing that because something did not happen before, it can never happen. Many of you have unknowingly allowed previous disappointments to become the blueprint for your expectations. You experienced rejection, so now you expect rejection. You experienced delay, so now you expect delay. You experienced loss, so now you expect loss. You experienced disappointment, so now you expect disappointment. And without realizing it, you have allowed old experiences to influence how you see your future. But hear me clearly. Your future is not obligated to repeat your past. The chapters behind you do not have authority over the chapters ahead of you. I am still writing. I am still creating. I am still opening doors. I am still making ways where none seem to exist. There are blessings ahead that you have not seen. There are opportunities ahead that you have not imagined. There are relationships ahead that you have not yet encountered. There are moments of joy ahead that you cannot currently predict. Do not allow temporary pain to convince you that permanent hope is impossible. The enemy often wants you focused on what was lost. I want you focused on what remains possible. The enemy wants you replaying failures. I want you anticipating growth. The enemy wants you trapped in regret. I want you walking in expectation. Because expectation matters. What you expect influences how you live. When people expect failure, they often stop trying. When people expect disappointment, they often stop hoping. When people expect rejection, they often stop reaching out. When people expect nothing good to happen, they stop noticing opportunities. Do not let that happen to you. Remain open. Remain hopeful. Remain teachable. Remain expectant. Not because life is always easy, not because challenges disappear, but because I remain faithful, and my faithfulness is greater than every obstacle standing before you. I know there have been moments when you felt forgotten, moments when you felt overlooked, moments when you felt as though everyone else was moving forward while you remained standing still. But appearances are not always reality. Growth is often invisible before it becomes visible. Preparation is often hidden before it becomes obvious. Progress is often quiet before it becomes celebrated. Do not mistake hidden growth for no growth. Do not mistake preparation for delay. Do not mistake silence for absence. I have been working all along, even when you could not see it, even when you could not feel it, even when you doubted it. I remained faithful. Think about how many times in your life answers arrived unexpectedly. Think about how many times opportunities appeared from places you never anticipated. Think about how many times solutions came after you believed there were none. That same God is still working in your life today. I have not become weaker. I have not become less involved. I have not become less attentive. I am still moving, still guiding, still preparing, still providing, still opening doors, still creating possibilities. That is why you cannot afford to lose hope. Hope is not wishful thinking. Hope is confidence that my faithfulness remains active. Hope is choosing to believe that better days are possible. Hope is expecting my goodness even when circumstances seem uncertain. Hope is refusing to surrender to despair. And hope creates room for miracles. Some of you need to stop staring at what left. Stop staring at what ended. Stop staring at what closed. Stop staring at what failed. And start paying attention to what is opening, what is growing, what is developing, what is improving, what is being prepared. Because not everything in your life is moving backward. Some things are moving forward. Some things are improving. Some things are developing exactly according to my plan. The future I am preparing for you is not built upon fear. It is built upon purpose. It is built upon growth. It is built upon wisdom. It is built upon my faithfulness. That is why you must continue trusting, even when you cannot see everything, even when you do not understand everything, even when answers seem delayed. Keep trusting, keep believing, keep expecting. The story is not finished, and some of the most beautiful chapters have not been written yet. There are conversations ahead that will encourage you. There are opportunities ahead that will surprise you. There are blessings ahead that will remind you how faithful I have been all along. There are moments ahead that will make you understand why certain delays were necessary. Do not quit before you reach those moments. Do not surrender before you see what I have been preparing. Keep moving forward. Keep your eyes open. Keep your heart soft. Keep your faith active. Because the goodness ahead is greater than the disappointment behind. If this message speaks directly to your heart today, write, "I expect God's goodness," in the comments as your declaration of faith, and stay with this journey until the very end. Every message ahead is designed to help you strengthen your faith, grow in wisdom, overcome discouragement, and apply these truths in practical ways that can transform your everyday life. If these messages have encouraged you, brought peace to your heart, or helped you grow closer to me, consider sharing them with someone who needs hope today. And if you feel blessed by these words, you can support this ministry so that more people around the world can receive encouragement, guidance, and truth during difficult seasons. Remember this: the best is not behind you. The story is not over. The door is not closed. And the goodness I have prepared for your future is greater than you can currently see. Listen carefully today. There are moments when your feelings tell you one thing, while my truth tells you another. Your feelings tell you that you are alone. My truth tells you that I am with you. Your feelings tell you that nothing is changing. My truth tells you that I am working even now. Your feelings tell you that you are not strong enough. My truth tells you that my strength is being perfected within you. Your feelings tell you to give up. My truth tells you to keep moving forward. This is why I need you to understand something important. Your feelings are real, but they are not always reliable. Feelings change. They rise and fall. They respond to circumstances. They respond to stress. They respond to fear. They respond to exhaustion. They respond to disappointment. but my truth remains steady. My promises do not change because your emotions change. My faithfulness does not weaken because your confidence weakens. My presence does not disappear because you cannot feel it. There have been days when you felt close to me, days when faith seemed easy, days when peace filled your heart, days when hope came naturally. But there have also been days when faith felt difficult, days when doubt tried to speak louder than trust, days when exhaustion made hope feel distant, days when you questioned things you once believed with confidence. I understand those days. I know what it feels like to walk through difficult seasons. I know what it feels like to carry burdens. I know what it feels like to face challenges. That is why I am speaking to you today. Do not build your faith upon your emotions. Build your faith upon my character, because emotions change. But my character never changes. I was faithful yesterday. I am faithful today. And I will be faithful tomorrow. The same God who carried you through previous battles is carrying you now. The same God who opened doors before can open doors again. The same God who provided before can provide again. The same God who strengthened you before is strengthening you now. Do not allow temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. Some of your greatest regrets came when emotions were leading and wisdom was silent. Some of your greatest breakthroughs happened when you obeyed despite uncertainty. That is how faith works. Faith often moves before feelings agree. Faith often obeys before confidence arrives. Faith often continues walking before results become visible. That does not make faith weak. That makes faith powerful. Because faith is not based upon what you currently see. Faith is based upon who I am, and who I am has not changed. I know there are situations in your life right now that seem confusing, questions that remain unanswered, prayers that remain unfinished, challenges that seem larger than your strength. But do not judge the outcome before the story is complete. Do not assume that because you cannot see the answer does not exist. Do not assume that because the door has not opened yet, it never will. Many times you have mistaken the middle of the story for the end of the story. You have looked at an unfinished chapter and assumed it was the final chapter. But I am still writing. I am still moving. I am still arranging. I am still preparing. I am still working. There are things happening behind the scenes that you cannot yet see. Conversations you do not know about. Opportunities you have not discovered. Connections being formed. Doors being prepared. Blessings developing. Answers approaching. You may not see them yet. But I do. And because I do, you can trust me. Trust does not require complete visibility. Trust requires confidence in my faithfulness. Think about all the times you survived something you thought would destroy you. Think about all the times you made it through seasons you thought you could not endure. Think about all the times provision arrived when resources seemed limited. Think about all the times help appeared when you needed it most. Was that your strength alone? No. I was there. I was helping. I was guiding. I was providing. And I am doing the same thing now. Some of you have become discouraged because your emotions are inconsistent. One day you feel strong. The next day you feel weak. One day you feel hopeful. The next day you feel uncertain. Do not let that discourage you. Your spiritual growth is not measured by perfect emotions. It is measured by continued trust. Keep trusting. Keep praying. Keep believing. Keep moving forward. Even when your feelings struggle to keep up, because every step of faith strengthens your spirit. Every act of trust deepens your relationship with me. Every moment of obedience builds character. And every challenge overcome increases your confidence in my faithfulness. That is why this season matters. This season is teaching you to rely upon something stronger than emotions. It is teaching you to rely upon truth. It is teaching you to rely upon my promises. It is teaching you to rely upon my presence. and that lesson will serve you for the rest of your life. If these words speak directly to your heart today, write, "I will walk by faith," in the comments as your declaration of trust, and continue watching until the very end of this journey, because the messages ahead are designed to strengthen your faith, deepen your trust, help you overcome discouragement, and teach practical truths that can transform your daily walk with me. Remember this: your feelings may change, your circumstances may change, your situation may change, but I do not change. And because I remain faithful, you can continue moving forward with confidence, hope, and peace. Listen carefully today. There is something I want to remove from your thinking. For too long, you have been looking at your future through the lens of your past limitations. You have allowed old experiences to determine what you believe is possible. You have allowed previous failures to decide how far you can go. You have allowed old disappointments to place boundaries around your expectations.